Ever feel like you're too busy one week, but that next week things will definitely get a little bit quieter? And then next week comes around and you're still busy. Actually, you're busier. And the same thing happens the week after and the week after that. And before you know it, it's your birthday, you're blowing out your candles again, and you're getting happier and happier every year to be getting fancy socks as presents. Now, if this sounds somewhat familiar to you, stick to the end of the video, and we're going to talk about some really hard truths that your future 80-year-old self wish they had known earlier about busyness. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Darragh, and on this channel we look at ways at how young people can live happier, richer, and much more productive lives. So if you want to join in on the conversation, do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe below and don't miss out on anything we post on this channel. Okay, so we're going to structure this into 3 different parts. The first part is facing reality, second part is clearing your path, and the third part is actionables. So recently my girlfriend asked me, how was your day? And I said it was busy, it was really, really busy. And then the next day she asked me the same question again and I gave the exact same answer. So much work, but hopefully it will get better next week once I get this project off of my plate. The question I started asking myself was, can being busy all the time give me an illusion of productivity? Yes, it was reassuring that I was busy, but there was a risk that sometimes I was being too busy to actually enjoy the process and enjoy my life in the meantime. In current society, people are expected to work full-time jobs, have a side hustle to pay this extortionate rent, and also study part-time to increase their chances of progressing one day to a point of bliss where they've everything sorted out. Let me know when you get there. Not everyone has the luxury of managing their time the way they see fit, but since the pandemic, many people do have this flexibility. Yet we rush from one task to another without really taking a step back and asking ourselves, am I really enjoying any of this? Or are these tasks making me too busy to enjoy my life? Our busy states feel cynical when we lose touch with everyday pleasures. I felt this before and maybe you have too. So how can we address this? Take a second to re-examine our blind commitment to busyness. Dr. Derren Brown, she's a famous professor, she has a series on Netflix, goes as far to say and claim that being crazy busy is the #1 strategy to avoid facing the truth of our lives. Ouch. In a world of stimuli overload and dopamine hits, not being busy sometimes isn't an option. Sometimes it's easy to be afraid to be idle alone with our thoughts, because during these moments and droughts of productivity in the silence, this is where we ask ourselves, am I doing work that I actually want to do? Being busy can sometimes be a defense mechanism, and it's a way to avoid just being. Overloading our senses can make us believe that we are moving in the right direction, or some direction at least. Sometimes the constant cycle of tasks we tackle without even thinking leave us a bit stagnant. Ask yourself who proudly looks back at their old to-do list at the end of the year and says, wow, I tackled so many tasks this year. Some of this might have resonated with you already, so let's move on to the what can we do about it section. One way to alleviate this is to ensure that you're not just being busy, but that the work you're doing has meaning. Is it aligning with the trajectory of your high-level goals? Now, if you don't have high-level goals, that's for another video. I'm not going to try and convince you that they're worth doing, because they really are. Malcolm Gladwell once said that hard work is a prison sentence only if it does not have meaning. Our work is judged by the quality of our output, usually measured by some externally designed metrics, but the quality of the impact it has on our mental and physical well-being, which in a lot of cases is much more important, never really appears on this spreadsheet. Maybe we should factor it in. Maybe you can factor it in. Next time you finish a task or a project, ask yourself, did that work feel intellectually stimulating? Did I learn something new? Did it help me cultivate my curiosity? Did it give me an opportunity to connect with other interesting people? Now, you don't have to answer yes to all of these questions, but they are sensible questions to ask yourself when work represents such a massive chunk of our lives. One of the ancient Stoics once said, a man never steps into the same river twice, because the second time the river is not the same, nor is the man. Now, we're getting really deep here, but in this case, time is like a river. If you're too busy to enjoy life, too busy to spend time with your friends and family, too busy to learn how to paint, play guitar, watch my YouTube channel, you are never really going to get that time back. You may think it's too late, but it's not. Like many people, I have personally experienced this time anxiety, which is the recurring thought that it's too late to start or accomplish something new. But the reality is you have much more time than you can conceive. Well, hopefully. People overestimate what they can do in 5 days, but they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Let us talk about some actions. If you do one thing after this video, list what time well spent means to you and ask yourself if you can make some space in your life for these moments. It will be one of the greatest gifts that you're going to give to your future self. And look, let's be real, you might actually be going through a temporary phase where you're working on something really exciting but an all-consuming project. And that's amazing. Those activities you feel extremely passionate about are incredibly nurturing. But if I'm just too busy is becoming a recurring answer of yours every day after your girlfriend asks you how was your day, you may want to consider whether it is possible to be that excited over such a long period of time. Again, if that's the case, fair play to you. The problem we usually don't even take time to consider is the alternative, which is that we're numbing our minds with work. Being busy with exciting work is really good, but being too busy to enjoy life, spending time with people you love and exploring your full potential is not. If you belong to the people who do have a choice, consider making the most of your fortunate situation. This is a never-ending conversation that will progress through our lives. Thank God it is, because I don't know what we'd do if we figured it all out. But if you want to delve a little bit deeper into this topic, you should watch this video I'll put up here, where we look into how to overcome envy, jealousy, and impressing other people through understanding desire. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel first down below. We'll see you in the next one. Salam.